Oh, y'all have to say yes. You'll let me record you. All right, I'm going to give you guys the layout of the recipes we're going to do in order. I don't know how they came printed off, but I was looking at like the level of difficulty. So we're actually going to go from hardest to the easiest. Because by the time we end, we're like, okay, I just want to be done. So we're going to go from hardest to easiest. So we're going to do the beef and broccoli first. So plus it's got the most ingredients and the most stuff in the way. So we're going to do beef and broccoli first. And then we are going to do the hamburgers. And then we're going to do the pork chops. Then we're going to do the chicken and then finally the ribs. So that's going to be our plan. So it's going to be beef, hamburgers, pork chops, chicken, and ribs. All right. Make sure that you have your sheets of paper already cut up. I am going to go live.
Remember to go live in the workshop and not your personal page.
Yep. Actually, last time I did not go live in my personal page. I went live in McGuire Movers and Shakers. Okay. Back over here. All right. I think we're ready. Well, we have 1 minute. I'll wait. Oh, I think we have a couple more that have joined. Let me see. Oh, there's Jordan and there's Sarah Jones. Awesome. All right. We're going to be starting in about a minute. So for those of y'all who just joined, just make sure that your instruction sheets are cut up so that you can slide them down into your Ziploc bag. So these are the day of cooking instructions. And then for the recipes that we're going to do in the order, we're going to do beef and broccoli stir fry first. We're going to do the double onion burgers second. We're going to do the pork chops third, the lemon pepper chicken fourth, and the ribs last. So I did that because we're going to go from the most difficult to the easiest, because by the time we get to the end, we're ready for it to be over. All right. So, we're gonna get started here in just a second. Anybody have any questions about your prep? Anybody try my tip on taking the skin off the back of your ribs? Anybody do that? Amy did that. Yeah. Was that helpful? Yeah. All right. If you did not take the skin off the back of your ribs, just know that is it's a stupid step, but it's very smart. It's stupid but smart. We hate doing it because it seems like really, but it actually does help in making your ribs a lot tender. Okie dokie. All right, so I think we're good. I'm gonna take this off of, I'm gonna look at the gallery up here so I can. All right, everybody give me a thumbs up if you're good to go and ready to go. Oh, I see old Sarah. She hasn't done her prep yet. Sarah. We're going to scold her.
Are you actually surprised?
No. Even though I say it how many times? No. Just don't get behind, Missy. Okay, so we are gonna get rolling here. As I said, the very first thing that we're gonna do is the beef and broccoli. You're gonna need, for your beef and broccoli, you're gonna need 3-gallon size freezer bags. Well, one, you should already have your pork in. I mean, your beef in. You're going to need one for your vegetables and then one for your double bagging. So you're going to need 2 extra. You're going to need your soy sauce, your Asian seasoning, your garlic infused canola oil, your onion, peppers, cornstarch, and garlic. Okay, so as I said, we're going to do the hardest one first. Hi, Chris Creech.
Hi, sorry, I got a new portal or a new whatever this is, and I couldn't download Zoom.
Oh, Zoom is a little difficult on the portal. It's a learning curve. So, Sarah Jones, did you get something in the mail?
No.
Okay. All
Why?
right. Just asking.
From you?
No,
The help from Amazon?
I don't know. I don't know who it's from. Anyway, just asking. All right. All right. Anyway, so we are going to get rolling. Jordan, are you cooking? It looks like you're in like an office space or something. Is that your kitchen? Are you frozen? I think she's frozen.
It's my kitchen. It's just a horrible spaced kitchen. So I have a fold out
you
table
have
in the
a
middle so I
ceiling
can work on
fan-
it.
Ceiling fan in your kitchen. Oh,
Yeah, it's a horrible house, but
No. I'd love to have a ceiling fan in my kitchen. Golly, especially all the stuff that I burn. Okay, y'all ready to roll? Okay. All right, here we go. So, first things first, we are gonna do, take your extra gallon size bag, and we're gonna do all of our veggies in our gallon size bag. And I have a little extra bowl here, so I'm gonna actually put this in here so it helps my Ziploc bag stand up better. Okay. All right. So, first things we're gonna do, I want to talk to you about buying broccoli. Did anybody buy whole broccoli, or did you buy broccoli already cut up in florets? Amy Dignan's smiling. I know what Amy Dignan bought. Okay, it's all right. Hey, you know, there are some times when we do things to save ourselves time, right? But if you bought broccoli in a head like so, there's a couple of things that you want to know. You always want to cut off those little leaves there that are hanging off if you are going to use part of the stem, okay? The other thing that you want to do is you're going to want to use a nice big knife. When you're doing big jobs like this is when I like using my nice big knife. And notice how I'm holding my knife. I pinch my knife there. Gives me a lot more control over it. And then you're going to just separate your florets. Now, as I get down to where my stem is a little bit longer than what I really like, I actually kind of trim the stem. Do y'all see how I'm doing that? Like, I don't cut all the stems off. I cut all the florets off. Okay. Now, if you are the kind of individual that does not like a big piece of vegetable in your mouth, then you're going to want to cut your florets in half, right? So like if this bothers you because this is so big, and if you're, you know, like when you get it from the Chinese restaurant and you get beef and broccoli from the Chinese restaurant and the broccolis are like this big and you're like, whatever, come on. Then you might be the type that wants to cut this one in half. Okay. So go ahead and cut your broccoli florets to the size that you like them. If you'll see, watch me, I'm actually the kind that does not like the big chunks of broccoli. So I will cut mine in half. Now, these little small ones, they're fine, right? That doesn't matter. Okay, so once you get your broccoli put in your bag, then we're going to work on our onion and our peppers. And you know me, if you've been doing these for a while, what product am I going to use? My Rapid Prep mandolin, because it does it all. So now you only need 3 cups of broccoli. I should have actually put it in here. All right, so that's almost 2 cups right there. So you're probably not gonna, I'm not gonna need this whole thing of broccoli. And you guys, I would be less generous with the broccoli, only because it will be a lot. And then your family will be like, where's the beef? There's so much dang broccoli. So don't do 2 whole heads if your heads are pretty large. Okay. All right, so I've got enough broccoli in my bag here, so I'm going to set this one aside and put it back in my refrigerator for later. All right, now I'm going to take my Rapid Prep mandolin for your onions and your peppers. Let me give you a couple of suggestions. So I hate having broccoli crap on my cutting board. All right, a couple of suggestions. You can use our quick slice. You can use the Rapid Prep mandolin, or you can use the simple slicer. Okay, any of these are really good tools for prep to use. Because I'm just using this all day long and I don't feel like doing a bunch of dishes, I'm using this for everything today. All right, now next tip, when you are doing your peppers, you guys, if you have been doing this with me, you should know this tip. All right, if you are going to chop it up into small pieces, it doesn't matter. You can take the top off and then pull out the center, but then those seeds are going to go everywhere. This is just my habit. This is how I always, oh, you can't see me. This is how I always cut a pepper. I cut, love my portal, hate my portal. See if it'll stay. Stop zooming in. I need to figure out how to set those settings so it doesn't zoom in all the time. All right, so this is all that I have left, okay, of my pepper. So just cut down on the sides. Plus you're gonna see if you're gonna put this in a quick slice or in the Rapid Prep mandolin, it's really great to have those on there. So same thing with the red pepper. Cut down on the sides of your pepper. See what I'm doing here? Cutting on the sides. Cut the bottom off. And then that's all that's left. Is it just me? I can't really hear Linda.
Yeah, Linda, when you messed with the portal, like your volume went really down.
Yeah,
It's
it did.
hard to hear you.
Oh, hang on. Is that better? No? Better?
No,
No? Huh. Better? Hey, I figured out how to do my camera.
now we can see, but we still can't hear very well.
Y'all just keep working. Okay. I'm testing my microphone. Okay, is that better?
Yes.
Okay. It has two microphones on it. I figured out by my settings here. There is a bottom microphone and there is a back microphone. I was talking to the back microphone.
Okay.
I fixed my camera and now I love how it like I can like dictate where I want for you guys to see. Hallelujah! Yay! Okay, technology. I'm learning it more and more. Okay, so you should have your peppers and your onions ready to go. Am I right? Right. Yes. Okay, gonna take my rapid prep mandolin. Now, if you have the quick slice or the simple slicer, you know what to do. But if you do not have the rapid prep mandolin yet, you're gonna want to get it. All right, so let me just show you how this works. So this piece right here is your hopper. This is the cover for your blade. All right, I'm right-handed, so I'm gonna push with my right hand here. So I'm gonna take all of my peppers here, all in one. Now I want these strips, right? But they're already in strips, so I'm just gonna really keep it on the full mode here, okay? Because they're already in strips. I don't really need to put it on the strip setting. So, but I do want them kind of thick. So I'm gonna put them on 8. All right, so all you do, take your hopper and push. Oop, not on top of your knife there, Linda. Okay, cool. You know what I love doing peppers with this is when I'm doing peppers and onions, like kielbasa, peppers and onions. Okay, now on this one, I do not want these in circles. I want these in cut in strips. So I'm gonna put it on the lines portion, and then I'm gonna put my onion in there, and then it's gonna cut it in strips.
If we're using the simple slicer, what
Yeah.
setting? What setting for the simple slicer for the onion?
Simple slicer for, I would probably still do 3.
Okay.
Yeah, and the reason why is because when you go to stir fry these, I don't know how these are cooked, but when you go to stir fry these, onions just shrivel up to nothing, right? It's like I'm watching Sarah. Is this not the best freaking tool in the best freaking tool we have ever. It's just crazy. Like, this is amazing. Look at that. Beautiful, right? Beautiful. Had one pepper that was not cut in a strip. So we're gonna put all of these in my bag. All right. That's it on that one, girls. So you should have your broccoli, your pepper, and onions.
What settings did you use the slicer on for the onions, for the mandolin?
I put it on the thick slice and I kept it on 8.
You kept it even for the onions?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. All right. So we're going to set this aside. Make sure you get all of your air out. We're not putting anything in this one, you guys. So just make sure you get the air out so you don't get freezer burn. It doesn't really matter that you need this because you're just going to end up throwing it in whatever you're cooking it in anyway. Oh, y'all told me not to do that with my sound on. because my portal is so loud. All right, so set aside your veggies. Now what we're gonna do is we are going to mix up our marinade. So for your marinade, you're gonna need see how I kind of put everything in together so I wouldn't lose my, everything on my working surface here. So you're gonna need a bowl for your marinade. And we're gonna do 1/3 of a cup of soy sauce. And I am using our 1 cup measure all cup here, okay, for solids and liquids, but I'm going to be using it for liquids now. So I'm going to go to 1/3 of a cup here, inside here, and go by the blue numbers. And if you did not follow the instructions and you bought a little bit more meat than what it called for, which I did, you might want to make a little bit more marinade. Okay, so you're gonna have 1/3 of a cup of your soy sauce. And then we're gonna do our Asian seasoning. So this is my old one. I'm finally finishing it up, I think. You're gonna do 3 tablespoons. So as you remember, your lid is a tablespoon. Okay. 3 tablespoons of the Asian. Okay. 3 tablespoons of Asian, 1 tablespoon of the garlic oil. Okay, so I am going to be using, this is my little favorite. I love this. Don't use this for oil. Just saying, use these. These are so much easier to deal with because you can set it down and you can watch it go up to the line. And then you don't have to worry about making a mess with your measuring spoon. Okay, so oil and then 2 garlic cloves pressed. If you're cheating, I'm not going to call you out, but if you're cheating and you're using jarred garlic, this is my little speech to you about using jarred garlic. If you're using jarred garlic, you don't go by the amount on the jar because most jarred garlic don't have a lot of flavor. So you really have to do like 2 or 3 tablespoons to get the 2 garlic cloves of the flavor that you want from real garlic. So, but your real garlic with our garlic press, you do not take the skin off and then you just squeeze. Okay. So we're going to add our garlic. If you are using garlic in a jar, you can speak to me afterwards.
It's like they said to the principal.
That's right. I will help you with your issue. All right. So we've got 2 garlic cloves, and then we're going to do 3 tablespoons of starch. And then we're going to whisk this up. And you guys, I love this little guy, the little mini whipper. So glad he's back. I actually had one of my customers. She's freaking amazing. I've been trying to get her to join my team forever. She like posts on my page. She posts in my VIP group. She's like such a foodie. And she posted the other day, she puts like a powder in her coffee, like a collagen powder. She says it never gets broken up, emulsified, I guess is the word. in her coffee until she started using the mini whipper. And now she went live on my page with that. Is that like crazy or what? She's like amazing. Okay, so just make sure that your marinade is nice and mixed up. And then we're gonna add our marinade to our beef. And then we're gonna give it a little massage. And then we're gonna be done with this one. So you should have in here your soy sauce, your Asian, your garlic oil, your garlic cloves, and your cornstarch. Everybody keeping up? Everybody good?
Mhm.
Okay. Now we're gonna take our marinade. I don't know how you guys cut up your meat, but this is how I cut up mine. I cut mine into like small strips.
Mhm.
Get beef and broccoli stir fry, right? So I cut mine into small strips. I don't know how you guys cut yours, but that's how I cut mine. I don't think there's any wrong way of doing it. Just make sure that it's not humongous, that you can't, eat it. You gotta cut it while you're trying to eat your stir fry. That's one thing I don't like. All right. All right, time to massage. Sarah Jones, you are in the dark. Now you're not. When you go over there to the side, I don't see you. You hide. Oh, I'm going. Okay, so now you're going to take the air out of your meat. And you guys, now that you have all done, I think, Barbara, are you the only one that hasn't done a freezer meal workshop with me yet?
I haven't, so if I'm the only one, I don't know.
I think you might be the only one. Because Jordan, you've done one, right? Yes, okay, yeah. So I think you guys have figured out in thawing out your meals, if you make them flat, they thaw faster, right?
Well, good to know. Okay.
So don't make it into a loaf, make it into a flat sheet like this.
Got it.
And then, so now what you're gonna have is this and this,
Okay.
okay? And you're gonna put that in a Ziploc bag. And you're gonna, you're gonna double bag both bags. So you're gonna put both bags in one Ziploc bag. All right. You're gonna have to flatten it out again once you get it in there, but you got a good start on it.
Good.
Y'all, this smells yum, yum, doesn't it?
Mhm.
Look at Miss Sarah, the non-cook. I love it. And Amy Dignan, the non-cook. Like, Sarah, you and Amy, when I first met both of you, you were like, yeah, I don't cook. Okay, don't forget, Barbara, you take your sheet of paper that says beef and broccoli stir fry,
Yeah.
and you slide it inside the double bag.
And has the cooking instructions on it? Is that what that is?
So this is what it looks like right here. This is what you will have, and this is what it'll look like when you're finished.
Okie dokie.
All right, everybody good? All right, do I need to slow down?
Not yet.
Alicia says just a little bit.
Okay, then let's do that.
I thought I was prepared, but
You what? You thought you were prepared?
I thought I was prepared, but I'm I'm still on it, but I was like, okay, next thing.
Okay, just
I
go.
got it though. You're good.
All right. Meal number 1, down. Moving on to the burgers. Oh. Anybody on here do last month's meal? I know Karen did. Alicia did, Amy did, Jenna did. Have y'all had the burgers yet? The Chipotle burgers? Were they
Yes.
amazing. They were so good. So good. Well, did you guys do it like I instructed, doing 4 and 4 if you have a smaller family? Yeah, that's what we did. So we did 4 and 4, and we had got 2 meals out of that. So that was awesome.
I'm making extra burgers for my kids who just had a baby.
Well, these make 8 burgers. So this,
I'm making a lot of burgers.
well, then you better get started, girlfriend.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to slice up our onion. So I'm going to be using my Rapid Prep mandolin again, but this time I'm going to put it on slices. Okay. I'm sorry, not slices, the full circle. Okay. So put it on the full circle this time. If you're using your simple slicer,
Yeah.
you're going to want to put it on number 3. Okay. If you're you probably don't want to use the quick slice on this because you don't want strips, right?
Right.
You can do it the old-fashioned way, and you can just slice it with a knife. Okay. All right.
My onion is too big.
Do what?
My onion is too big.
Oh, then cut it in half.
Yeah.
Or it might be wide. So I'm gonna just drop my onion in there. And I'm gonna do my slices of onion. Ooh, I don't want size 8. If y'all are using the Rapid Prep mandolin, I'm gonna drop it down to like 6. Oh, and I can't get that puppy in there. That's too wide.
There we go.
How amazing is that? Oh my gosh. I just get so excited about this stupid thing. Like, it's so easy. Look at that, you guys. Ah, so awesome. So awesome. Okay, so we're going to take the onions and we're going to put them in our quart size bag. And we're going to add our garlic oil to it. And that's going to be all that's going to go in your quart size bag. And I am so ready to be done with onions. My eyes are on fire. Woo! I think we're done with the Rapid Prep mandolin too. Done with the soy sauce. All right, I'm going to take my little measuring cup again, and we need 1 tablespoon of garlic oil. So we're going to take our garlic oil here. Those of y'all who bought the garlic oil for the last one, do you guys just use it too in your cooking? Like, I use it in my eggs. I use it in everything. You know, if you make grilled cheese sandwiches, take a little pastry brush, and instead of using butter, use the garlic oil on the outside of your grilled cheese sandwiches. Girl, that's what I'm talking
Love
about.
that.
That is a great idea.
Oh, it's so good. So good. All right, so massage the onions. Look at Sarah over there keeping up. Just wait till you get to the chicken, right? All right, onions are done. Just make sure you get the air out of them. All right, now the next thing. This is the one I don't like. Okay, so I don't buy white bread. I know it says white bread. You could have even used breadcrumbs, but you're gonna make a paste is essentially what you're doing. So I used wheat bread and I toasted it just because it was so soft, right? You want it to be a little firmer, and that's why I toasted my bread. So so I'm just using wheat bread because I'm not going to buy a loaf of white bread for this recipe. So you're just going to just tear this up into pieces, okay? We're going to make a paste. This is probably kind of different than you've ever done, but we're going to make a paste that's going to be mixed in with your ground beef, okay? Actually, we're going to make the paste and then we're going to mix the paste in with your ground beef. I know it sounds absolutely disgusting, but it is really good. This is actually an old freezer meal workshop recipe. We did these the last time we used to do freezer meal workshops, and this one was really good, really fun too. Because like, who doesn't love like onion burgers? Yum yum. And, you know, we don't eat, normally I would probably not do the bread because I don't eat buns well, I try not to eat buns unless it's a really good looking bun. I do lettuce leaves, you know, like the butter lettuce leaves. And oh my gosh, those burgers with the Chipotle sauce on the lettuce leaves, all you could just taste was that Chipotle in the burger. Oh, it was so good. Okay, so you've got your thing. Now we're going to add a half a cup of milk. Something else I don't buy is milk. Okay. I have almond milk, so we're going to just use almond milk. It's unsweetened. It's not vanilla. It'll be all right. You just need something wet. So a half a cup of milk. Now you see where that paste is going to come in, right? We're going to add milk to this nasty bread. All right, milk. And then 3 tablespoons of your onion rub. One, 2, 3. Remember, don't heap them. You may not have enough for the next recipe. Yeah, right. Okay, so now we're going to take this and we are going to mix it up. I think I'm going to use a fork, you guys. I am eventually going to use my hands, so let me take my watch off and my rings off. I don't use gloves. I think it's a nurse thing. Chris, do you use gloves?
Only because I was cutting rose bushes and have cuts on my hands.
Yeah, not me. I am not. I cannot stand dealing with food and with gloves on. It's too hard. All right, so you're essentially just going to make mush out of your bread. It's not going to be like the consistency of peanut butter or anything, but it should be like, I don't know.
Chunky peanut butter.
Chunky peanut butter. Looks like oatmeal. That's what it looks like. It looks like oatmeal. And if you have little pieces of the, what's it called? What's on the crust? Make sure you get those, because if not, you're gonna have big chunks of crust in your, you know, you could also do that in the manual food processor. Okay, so this is what it should look like.
Okay.
All right. Oh, Jordan, you are the woman. Look, she used the right tool for the job. Look at her. She is using the mix and chop. Smart girl. Smart girl. Should have used the mix and chop. See, Jordan used to be teaching us. All right. Now for the fun part. You are going to take your meat and you are going to add your meat to this, and then you are going to go down. Now, before you start, there's two things that I want you to do. I want you to get your 2 Ziploc bags ready to go. Okay? Get your 2 Ziploc bags open and ready to go. All right, cool. All right, then I want you to clean off your cutting board area. All right, because what you're gonna do is you're gonna mix all this up with your hands, and then you're gonna do 8 balls out on your cutting board, okay? And then once your 8 balls are done, the reason why you're not going to add them to the Ziploc bag yet is because you may have to take some from one ball and put it in another ball if you run out by the end. But you should get 8 good sized balls, like about the size of a baseball, okay? Or smaller than, maybe a little bit smaller than a baseball, like a lacrosse ball, okay? So you're going to mix it all up and then make your 8 balls, and then lay your 8 balls out on to the surface. And then don't, once you've done that, just hold tight, unless you know what to do from the last one. Now, if you want to, you can use your burger press if you want. I love my burger press, and I use my burger press all the time, but not when I'm making meals to burgers to freeze them. I'll just show you, I just have a little tip that I do that just makes it so much faster. They're not quite as uniform as the burger press, but it does work really well. Okay, so once your burger meat is well mixed up, and I don't know if you guys noticed, I love using these stainless steel bowls because they don't slide all over my counter. All right. Start making your balls. Anybody want to sing?
What?
Anybody want to sing while we're doing this?
Sing?
Sing. Alicia can sing. She sings.
Look at Barbara, she has a degree.
She sings in our praise team at church.
That's awesome. Alicia, what do you want to sing?
Let's just bust out with Defying Gravity, Barbara. Let's just do it.
Hey, I'm under the bus anytime, sweetheart.
Okay, I want to know, Barbara, how do you know Alicia?
We have done some shows together. We did
Yeah.
Mary Poppins together, and we did Little Women.
Uh-huh.
Did we do? What else did we do? Did we do another one?
Barbara has been a customer of mine for, Barbara, when did we meet?
1,000 years ago at one of the Braemar Day things where you had a booth out.
Yeah, isn't that crazy, Alicia? I'm like, I saw her name and I'm like, oh my gosh, Barbara.
Yep. It's a good one.
Did we do any other shows?
I don't think so. You didn't do Big Fish.
I went to Big Fish. I wasn't in it though, because I didn't think I could do a show about a guy losing his dad like a year after I lost mine. So I thought,
Yeah,
not gonna do that.
yeah.
But
And I saw were you in Jane Eyre?
yeah, I was in Jane Eyre. You saw me in Jane Eyre.
Were you in The King and I?
In what? No, I was not. That was before
No.
my time. I was in, oh my gosh, what was I in? I was in Fiddler on the Roof. I was in Honk. We were in Honk together.
Okay.
And we both got to be frogs. That was fun.
Probably starting to get to the point where some of your burgers are going to be a little small, or you've got too much left over. You can make 9 burgers if you can get 9 good sized burgers out of them.
Seriously, I'm gonna have 12, I think. Well, they're big. I have some big freaking burgers here.
I kind of like my lacrosse ball analogy because that's what mine looks like, is a lacrosse ball.
I don't know what that looks like.
It's just a hair bigger than a tennis ball.
Okay.
Am I right, Miss Amy VP? Okay, so this is what your cutting board should look like. All right, I belong on camera. Like someone, we need to put this on Food Network. Just saying. We're just too amazing.
I'll get on that.
And there you go. Okay, is everybody ready to bag? Are y'all still rolling?
Mostly ready.
All right, I'll give y'all 1 second. I'll stand here and talk for just a second. That's the hardest part of my job, is filling downtime. So when we're doing like a live party and I'm doing something and they're just all staring at me, that's when you got to like realize, like, what are you going to say when like your customers are staring at you and you need to say something because, there's this awkward silence during your party, right? We used to call it cream cheese time when you were spreading cream cheese on something. Yeah. All right. So enough jibber jabber. We ready?
Okay.
So now you're going to take 4 balls. You're going to put 1 in each corner of your bag. See? 1 in each corner of your bag. Can you see that?
Yeah.
You have 1 in each corner. Don't smash them yet because your hands are nasty. You don't want to be using the outside of your bag yet. Okay? Take your other bag and put your hamburger meat in your 4 corners. And then we're going to remove our cutting board and we're going to go wash our hands and then we're going to smash our burgers. All right, so get this one out of your way.
Yeah.
All right, ready? Chris, are we leaving you behind? You don't have to unmute.
I'm behind, but I'm only making 4 of them, so don't worry.
Okay.
It's up high. Over there.
Hi, Lee. You're muted now. I can't hear y'all. Okay. We are ready to mash our burgers. So I was on a call the other day with my directors. We were on our lunch call and I was about to go get a mammogram, and one of my amazing Instagram directors, who's awesome on Instagram, says, Linda, you do need to do something about take a picture of your burger press and then take a picture and say, what am I doing today? And then say, make a joke about going to get your boobs smashed. But I didn't do that. Yeah. Anyway, all right, ready? So now you have your 4 burgers in the corners.
Right.
You're going to mash them down into your circles inside the bag.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
When you have them the thickness that you want, which I would, you guys be a little generous with mashing them down, because you know how burgers get, they kind of shrink up into a little fat ball, right? So mash them down pretty, not too flat, but flat enough. Can you see mine?
Yeah.
Okay, now I have also gotten all my air out. So zip lock that one up. And then to store it, you're gonna fold it over.
Nice.
All
Awesome.
right. Now do your other bag.
This is a great idea. I've never thought of doing this. This is very cool. I had actually cut up a bunch of like wax paper to put in between them to freeze them.
Barbara, if you hang out with me, couple of good tips here and there.
I like it.
My burgers, when I did the Chipotle burgers, were a little round and they were a little fatter than what I wanted by the time we cooked them up. So I'm making mine a little bit flatter than I did my other ones. Now, if you are doing 2 separate meals, oh, I should have said this. If you're doing 2 separate meals, you're probably going to want to separate some of your onions out of your other bag. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, now I have 2 bags of onions and 2 bags of burgers, because that's 2 meals for us. Unless Caleb comes over, and then Caleb comes over, then Caleb would want more than 1 burger, and so would Aiden. All right, so now we're gonna double bag these.
Oh, really?
So smart thing to do is put in a thing of burgers, and then on top of that, put in your onions, and then in the front of the bag, put your second burger and your second onion. So you'll take them out in layers. So it'll be like this, like that, and then put these in the front of the bag. And then you can top. Oh, you know what these would be great on is the deluxe griddle grill, and you can do your onions on the same as you're doing your burgers. Okay. Oops. Shoot, forgot the little recipe thing, the little guide. Double onion burgers. Sprinkle onions with a teaspoon of sugar. This helps them to brown. Did y'all see that? right, we are about to hit hump day here. Two hardest days of the week, right? Monday and Tuesday are done. Moving on to the pork chops, ladies. Anybody need a break? Everybody do good?
Since I'm just a little behind, did you squish out the air before you flattened the burgers?
You'll squish out the air as you are flattening the burgers. Don't seal it. Don't seal it when you're flattening the burgers. You can put away some of the things you don't need anymore. Clean up your area a little bit while we wait on everybody to finish. Okay, ready for our pork chops. Parmesan garlic pork chops. Okay, this is actually going to be a pretty easy one, but you have to be very careful, okay? Because if you have pork chops with bones, and we are going to be getting that yumminess all kneaded into our pork chops, be careful that your bone doesn't go through your Ziploc bag. This is the reason why you buy Ziploc bag and not store brand bags. Okay. There's a thing out of, what do you not buy that is not a name brand? I think I told these guys this last time. You don't buy Ziploc bags in a non-name brand. You don't buy Pillsbury crescent rolls in a non-name brand. Always buy Pillsbury. The other ones are greasy. Okay, ready?
Sure.
All right, this is what you're gonna need. You're gonna need your garlic and herb rub. You're gonna need your 3 onion rub. You're gonna need your cream of mushroom soup, your apple juice or cider, your butter, and your Parmesan cheese. So let's get rolling. All right, so we're gonna take our garlic and herb rub. Garlic and herb rub, there it is. And we're gonna do a tablespoon of garlic and herb rub. I would probably do a heaping.
You're just putting it right in the bag?
Right in the bag. You're gonna do a tablespoon of your 3 onion rub. You are going to do your can of cream of mushroom soup. And I do not take the tabs off, you guys. I use my can opener because I don't like that side to tear up my hello, come on. What's the deal? I don't like the side of the can to tear up my scrapers. So I always take the lid off. Okay. All right, cream of mushroom soup. A cup of apple juice. This will probably never get drinking in my family. Unless I can get Aiden to drink it.
Bring it over here. My kids gobble up that stuff.
Hey, do you still have the cicadas?
Oh, yeah.
I need to come over because I'm so sad that you're like 40 minutes away from me and I don't hear a single darn cicada.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they've melted out a little bit, but they're still around.
Okay, you guys, your butter, cut this into small cubes or slices, it doesn't matter. And then just add that to it. All right. Butter is done. Now last. Okay, so I'm just going to tell you a little hint here. I'm not going to ask if you bought the green can of Parmesan cheese. You do not have to divulge that you have the green can of Parmesan cheese. Okay? But I'm going to tell you a little bit about the green can. Oh! Mary Jones, you are fired as a freaking Pampered Chef consultant.
I
Sure.
couldn't
Stop,
find
guys.
I couldn't find the damn good stuff at the store, so I was like, screw it.
Girl.
You want it shredded or do you want it grated?
We are going to grate it.
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna grate it, shred it. Okay. Oh, we have somebody else that's joined us? I don't see anybody. I thought we only had 9 on these. Okay, so I am using our microplane grater. Hallelujah, praise the Lord, it's back. But I'm using my microplane grater, and I am using a block of Parmesan cheese. I'm going to tell you guys, this block right here costs about $4.50. That green can costs about $4. That green can is not sold in the dairy section. Just saying. It's not real cheese. When you buy fresh Parmesan cheese, this block right here will make so much and it will last forever. I think I was using this block the last freezer meal workshop that we did. Okay. But all you do, look at that. Look at how amazing that is. And it will make all of this fresh parm so quickly. So we need 2 ounces. Well, I'm just going to guess on 2 ounces. It's usually about a block. Let's see. It's probably about 2 inches by 2 inches would be 2 ounces. I don't even know how many ounces. But that's probably right there, about 2 ounces of fresh Parmesan cheese. Okay, so look at how beautiful that is. Oh, love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay, so, but look how much I now still have left over. That's like amazing. All right, so we're gonna add our Parmesan cheese in there. Now, I've never done this recipe, so I don't have any tips. We probably maybe should have done something a little different in order to get it all meshed together. I don't know. I've never done this recipe before. So we're just,
Linda, what did you say you did with the butter?
just cut it into little packs.
Okay.
And then just start very gently doing this, you guys, because you do not want your pork chops, the bone, to put a hole in your bag. And I'm suspecting this is going to make more like a gravy. It's not a marinade, it's more like a gravy. and we're just kind of mixing up the gravy right now. So the butter will melt when we cook it, right? So you should have a nice gooey bag of pork chops. All right. Make sure you take your air out. And seal. And flatten. Because they will thaw so much faster. This is going to be really good. I'm excited about
So I discovered, sorry,
it. What?
I was gonna fill the void for you. I discovered that the orange zester and juicer, the zester part does an amazing grated Parmesan. Like, it's so fluffy and so pretty. It's like, oh, this is my new favorite way to do it.
Yeah, that's what this one is too. That's what we used to use.
It's the same thing.
Yep, absolutely.
Love it.
Yep. But yes, it does. And that's exactly the texture that you're going to get when you use this or when you use the new zester juice. Yeah. All right, don't forget your little instruction sheet. Isn't this so much more fun doing this with friends than doing it if you were like watching the replay and doing it by yourself? This is so much more fun.
I tried to do it with a replay last time, and I ended up, I don't even think I've made the burgers yet because I was like, I just followed the recipes. I didn't even watch it. And so you totally miss out on everything, and you get halfway through and you're like, okay, I'm done. That's just good enough. So.
Well, and this is accountability, right? No one wants to turn their camera off and not finish. They're like, okay, we're doing this. Linda's not going to let me slack. All right, number 3. And we are at 3 o'clock. Let's see if we can get done in 20 minutes. Let's do a record. 1 hour and 20. Okay, moving on to the chicken, ladies.
Ew.
I did not cut my chicken up because the recipe said it called for a whole fryer or chicken pieces.
Right.
So I am actually going to put mine in the rotisserie. Okay. So I did not cut mine up in pieces. I know I saw Alicia, you cut yours up, or you just bought them?
No, I just bought it really big and wasn't expecting it. It was gross. Like mine looks like yours. It's just,
Yeah.
and I got a chicken that's way too big, so I can't even rotisserie it. So
Yeah.
I couldn't even find a chicken.
I'm doing 2. I'm doing a set for my in-laws, for my son and his wife, and then I'm doing the whole chicken for me. You can slow cook it though, right?
Yes, or if you have the Rock Crock Dutch oven, you can put it in the microwave for 25 minutes. It's amazing.
Okay.
Uh,
I don't have that. I have the deep dish.
You can
One.
use that one in the microwave. Yeah, that's
And how
actually
long will that take?
25 to 35 minutes, depending on how big your chicken is.
Okay.
Yeah, Barbara, when that deep covered baker came out, like in 2008, and I only know that because it came out during the recession. When that deep covered baker came out, that was the very first recipe we showed people how to make quickly and cheap for a family because we
Right.
were all having to cook at home because there was a
Yeah.
horrible recession, right?
Yeah.
So we taught people how to buy a big chicken and put seasoning on it and put it in the microwave in the deep cover baker for 25 to 30 minutes, depending on how big your chicken is.
Awesome.
And the instructions tell you that too. So the
Okay, good.
instructions for this one are, it says rock crock, Dutch oven, or deep covered baker, microwave high 25 to 35 minutes. Or
Awesome.
put it in a crock pot for 4 to 6 hours on low.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, so all we're gonna be doing with this one, you guys, is just making our rub for it. That's essentially all we're doing. And then we're just going to put it all over it, okay? So you're gonna need your 1 cup prep bowl. I am so happy I found my place on my portal to make it stop moving. Yay! Okay, so you're gonna need 2 tablespoons of garlic infused canola oil. So here again, we're gonna go back to our amazing little guy here. 2 tablespoons. Chris, which recipe are you not doing?
The last one.
Oh, the ribs?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we've got our canola oil. We have got our 3 tablespoons of lemon pepper rub. Now, you guys, I did not buy lemon pepper because I thought I had some. So I'm using one of the lemon peppers that come in our taste buds, but I know that there's not 3 tablespoons in here. So I'm going to substitute the lemon garlic. So 3 tablespoons of your lemon pepper.
I just want to say, Linda, I'm here for the accountability and the fun because I wouldn't do this on my own. So it's okay that I'm behind.
Okay. No, I'm glad you're here. 1 tablespoon of the Herb de Provence. If you guys have never, you're going to have almost a whole container of this left. Let me tell you, this stuff is amazing. I put this, you know that commercial, I put this on everything. I do. I put this on everything. It is so yummy in your eggs. It's great on pork chops, fish. It's really good in fish. You can even put it in your salads as a seasoning. It's so good. And then a tablespoon of the garlic and herb rub. Woo! This is going to be powerful. And then we are going to mix it up. Now this will look like, what's a good analogy? This should look like mud.
Like a mud mat.
Does it look like pesto? Pesto?
It could look like pesto. Yep. It's going to be very thick, but oily, like
Right.
pesto.
Perfect.
Now, I am going to give you a hint. I would put half of it in and then try to move your chicken around and then put the other half in, because you may have hard time getting it at the bottom of your whole chicken.
And what about if you're doing chicken parts? Can you just stick it in and just kind of do like we were doing with the other stuff?
Sure can. Yep. So do you see how you have one flat side of your chicken here, and then you have one flat side of your chicken here? I would put half on one side of the bag and then put the other half on the other side of the bag. All right? Make sense?
Yep.
Do I need to drain some of this liquid off?
You shouldn't have any liquid.
Look at all that.
Oh, did you? Okay. Yes. Drain all that liquid off. Yes. So when you guys are dealing with chicken with the skin on, you should always try and, well, not try, you should always blot your chicken dry with paper towels. Always, always, always blot your chicken dry with paper towels. Because it does get very wet, and then your seasoning does not adhere to it.
Okay.
That should be in probably the prep. Blot your chicken dry.
Yeah, that was new for me.
Yeah, see, mine has very little liquid in mine.
Looking,
You know what?
leaving.
It comes from the inside of the chicken, of the cavity. That's where a lot of it comes from. All right. Let's start getting that all into your chicken. Get your air out and then seal. And I'm not going to double bag mine because I'm actually not going to do the recipe the way that the recipe says. I'm going to put mine in my air fryer. So I'm just going to put mine in like this. Okay. All right. That's going to be yum. Yum, 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 yum. And this one, you guys, is so easy. You're literally just going to put your 3 tablespoons of barbecue rub in there and knead, and you're done. But if you did not watch my video, I'm going to tell you a couple of things.
Which video was this? I don't remember seeing it. The one yesterday?
No, I posted it today in the Freezer Meal Workshop group.
Oh,
Because I actually did a video of it because I'm going to share it on my personal wall because so many people like to cook ribs in the summertime. So I'm going to use it as a tip on my personal wall. So what you're going to need, so what I want you to understand about doing ribs is that when you do ribs, you have to cook them for a long time and then you put the barbecue sauce on them. Okay. This this recipe says add the root beer and ribs to the inner pot of your quick cooker. Okay. So instead of cooking them for a long time, you're going to put them in your pressure cooker, right? So you put your ribs with the root beer in your pressure cooker. And you cook them. It just says put on the beef pork setting and press start. I think the beef pork setting is about 40 minutes. So it's about 40 minutes on your quick cooker or your Instant Pot, okay? When the timer is up, let the steam release naturally for 10 minutes. Press the steam release button, blah, 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 blah. Reserve 1 cup of the juices in the inner pot. Stir together the barbecue sauce and their juices in the quick cooker. Select on the sear setting and press start. Bring the sauce to a boil and cook uncovered for 5 minutes. Brush the ribs with a half a cup of the sauce and then serve the remaining sauce with the ribs. Now, I'm going to tell you how I would do this differently, just because this is how we like to do them. When I am in a hurry, I do put my ribs in the quick cooker with the root beer. I think it's amazing. It's so delicious. It's super quick. When I have a little bit longer during the day, I do boil my ribs on a slow simmer for like 2 to 3 hours. And do not boil them too long, because then your meat will literally fall off the bone. But take them out, and I take mine out of the quick cooker, and then I let them come to room temperature. Like, you let them dry out a little bit. You don't want them like hot and wet. You don't want to be dealing with them hot and wet. I don't like dealing with them hot and wet. So I let them sit for a few minutes on a platter. And then I take my barbecue sauce and I slather my barbecue sauce all over my ribs, and I put them on the grill to caramelize the barbecue sauce onto the ribs. So that's how I cook my ribs. This is another great way of doing it if you don't like transferring them from one thing to the grill. Okay, so that's my tip on the ribs. All right, so all you're going to do with these ribs, and I would kind of move them around as you add each tablespoon of the barbecue rub. I would, add a tablespoon, kind of move them around so the barbecue rub will touch it.
It's on everything.
I'm sorry?
So that it all gets all over everything.
Yeah, so it gets all over everything, yeah. And my other thing is I love making my own barbecue sauce. With this stuff, it's amazing. I don't think I've bought barbecue sauce in probably 2 years, unless I'm doing like a big huge gathering of people, and I don't want to express the barbecue sauce for that many people. But for just a few, it takes about 2 tablespoons. Let me see if it's on the recipe on here. No, it doesn't have the recipe on here, but you can go to pamperedchef.com and you can find the recipe to make barbecue sauce with this smoky barbecue rub. It's so amazing. And I cut mine into 4 sections. I don't know how you guys did yours, but I cut mine into 4 sections. And on the video that I did, I shared some of the same tips I just gave you, but I also showed you how to take the membrane off the back of the thing. I know it's gross, but you really should take the membrane off the back of your ribs. All right. Move that rub around in there. You guys know by putting your rub on it now and then freezing them, it really penetrates that meat. So this is why these taste so much better than just waiting and taking them out and then adding it to it. Oh, Jenna, you're a little behind. Are you a little behind?
I ran out of rub, so I had to go digging in my taste buds.
Oh,
That's why.
all right.
Awesome.
Okay. I do want to just kind of leave you guys with, so Karen and Jennifer and Barbara, you are our customers on here. Everybody else is consultants. We are going to continue these through July and August. We have already picked our date for July. We do have the menu for July. We just don't have it like set yet as far as the grocery list. We're making our own menu for July because the group of directors that made these last 3 for us is taking a break during the summer. Well, we're not taking a break during the summer. So we are going to do July. It is going to be, I think, the same weekend as this one. I think it is the 11th and 13th of July. So Sunday, Sunday, July 11th and Tuesday, July 13th is going to be our July one. And we'll be posting that information soon. But I also want you guys to think about this. We have started doing, I don't know if you're familiar with our new shared rewards parties, but you guys are, all 3 of you are Pampered Chef junkies. Like, you guys love Pampered Chef. And if you love Pampered Chef and you love getting Pampered Chef at a discount, all of your friends would too. And so these new shared rewards parties that we get to do now for our host is the host gets to offer like up to 25% off to your friends. So it's kind of like, oh my gosh, girlfriends, I have a friends and family discount with Pampered Chef. You should get some friends together. You can either do a Facebook party, you can do an online link, you can even do a gathering at your home, and share that discount with all of your friends all over the country. Like, they don't even have to be local because everybody can place their orders all over the country. So I just want to let you guys know about that new feature that we have at Pampered Chef. It's called a shared rewards party. So if it sounds like something you would like to do and that you think your friends would love getting Pampered Chef at 25% off, you could be getting your spices at 25% off. You could get the Rapid Prep mandolin at 25% off. You could get all these cool tools that we're using at 25% off. It's just a matter of, the more orders that you get, the higher the discount goes. So I just wanted to let you guys know that about our new shared rewards parties. Any questions about the recipes that we did?
I don't think so. Can you post the way that you do the ribs? Can you post instructions?
I did in that little video.
Oh, you did? Okay. I will watch that then.
Yep. And it really is just literally low boil for 2 to 3 hours. Take them out, let them cool off, put barbecue sauce on them and throw them on the grill.
Nice.
Like, they're super easy.
Okay.
But I would not put these in water.
Right.
Because they already have all your rubs all over it, right?
Right.
I would put these in your quick cooker with the root beer or an Instapot. I would not put them in water and boil them. Not because these already have a seasoning on. When I do without the seasoning, when I do boil them, I don't put seasoning on them. I just put the raw ribs in water to boil. Okie dokie.
Okay. This was fun.
I'm so glad. Are you
Thanks for joining.
addicted now? Wait till you start. Are you addicted now?
I've been addicted.
I know Karen is. Karen and Jennifer are. They do this every month.
I first bought Pampered Chef like before I moved to Virginia, which was 15 years ago. So, and I just have accumulated things I want as I go. So I love it.
Karen, unmute. I tried to find your unmute button.
Yeah.
Yay! Okay, so you guys love doing this, right? This is like your 3rd one.
Yeah, my 3rd one, Jennifer's second one.
they're pretty addicting, right? When you have these awesome meals that you just pull out and you're like, okay, it's dinner time. Here's what's for dinner.
Yeah.
It takes a huge load off your mind. So I'm so glad that you guys have been joining us. And bring some more friends with you next time. It's a
See
lot
what
of
we can
fun.
do.
All right. All right. Well, you guys have a good day. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. You now have dinner for tonight if you choose to use one. Anybody making one for dinner tonight?
Yeah, we're having burgers.
Having burgers? Yeah. Anybody else having one for dinner tonight?
I'll think about it.
The steak.
Oh, the beef.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing the chicken.
The chicken. All right. All right, cool. All right, well, you guys have a good Sunday. I will see you next month, except for my team. I will see you guys sooner than that. Oh, and Amy and Alicia. Amy, are you going out to dinner with us on Thursday?
I'm leaving to go out of town Thursday.
Oh, bummer. Okay, I know Alicia's coming with us.
Yeah, always a party.
My local peeps. All right. Well, you guys have a good one.
Bye.
Jordan, you're not local, are you?
Thank you, Linda.
You're welcome.
I'm in Madison. I'm not too far, but on Thursdays. So I'm not sure if I can go this Thursday or not.
Okay. Well, Angie's coming.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Angie's coming. She said she might be a few minutes late because she has people who pick up her kids. Oh, I guess I should stop live streaming. Okay. Yeah. So Angie is coming and yeah. So we have another consultant who lives in Madison. She doesn't sell much, but yeah. Do you know Alice Dennis?
No, I don't think I know her.
Yeah. She's been selling for a few years. I did a party out at her house many years ago.
Oh, cool.
Yep. All right. Well, it was good chatting with you.
You
All right.
too.
I'll talk to you later.
So much. I love fun. Bye.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye.